Welcome back. Now, one of the shortcomings of this show is that we tend not to spend a lot of time talking about municipal races. With dozens of cities across South Florida, it is hard to give them the attention they most certainly deserve. But there was a race that caught my eye. It was a runoff election in North Miami Beach where voters elected a new mayor. Michael Joseph became the city's first black mayor, and he was formally sworn in this week. A civil rights attorney, his parents came to the United States from Haiti, and I'm happy to say that he is here with us this morning. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that opportunity. Thank you.
You know, and it's, I will say, it's what's funny is when I called you, you got nervous and you sort of said, I haven't even had my first meeting yet. What did I do wrong?
I haven't had a first meeting, but I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the residents, the large community at large. I understand how historic my election is and just looking to do the people's work.
So let's talk about North Miami Beach. Yes. For folks who may not be as familiar with it. You know, demographically, it is a majority-minority community between Hispanic and black make up the vast majority of people in the city. But yet you're the first black mayor. You talked about the historical significance. Do you think of it in those terms?
I have to. I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, I think like I had a coalition of the people of North Miami Beach that wanted to turn a page from, you know, the past corruption, past mismanagement, and just wanted and believed in the work that I have been accomplished since being a commissioner and now being the mayor, and really putting it on the forefront and me leading the charge with the commission. And
we should also note, elected to the commission, first Asian American on the dais.
Yes, Lynn Sue was our first Asian commissioner, and like it speaks to our diversity. North Miami Beach is a melting pot. Very proud of it, and that's where I'm raising my family. Got married at the Spanish Monastery, one of our highlights of North Miami Beach, and it is a great city to live and work and play. And we want to keep it that way.
I think one of the things that drew me to your story as well is, I think it's something you had said to the Herald about, you know, this is an only in America kind of story.
To call it, Don King said it best, right? Only in America. I am the American dream story. My parents came here with nothing. Mom landed on a raft over Virginia Key Beach, historic Virginia Key Beach, and I was able to, you know, grow up in the great city of Miami, you know, with little that they had, humble circumstances, went to high school, graduated college, got my law degree from St. Thomas University. I'm local, all local, and now I am a practicing attorney and mayor of the great city of North Miami Beach.
So, you know, you sort of went through it quickly, and I want to just sort of go back. Both your parents came from Haiti. Yes. You talk about your mother arriving here. It was in the 1980s.
Yeah, a little bit before I was born. She came here in a raft. My dad was here a little bit earlier, and they came here with nothing. They came here for the American dream. They felt this place was Disney World compared to what was going on back in Haiti at the time, and they wanted to do the best for me and the rest of my siblings. And they were able to accomplish that with what they had. My mom was a maid, worked over at Sunny Isles Beach on a bunch of hotels. One of them was the Sands Hotel, that's now the Trump Hotel, around that development. And my dad was a custodian, as a preacher, still has his church, Hope Church of the Nazarene, over on 83rd and Biscayne.
You know, I think, again, one of the things that drew me to this is, you know, twofold. One, we saw how Haitian immigrants have been vilified in this past election. We also see the continuing struggle of what's going on in Haiti. We talked a little bit. You still have family in Haiti.
Yeah.
As a Haitian American, as a politician, how do you process all this? One, when you're hearing what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, when you see some of the rhetoric that comes around this, and you know the story of your family, you know the story of many other families like yours who come here, struggle, but seek the American dream and prosper here. How do you view that over the past year?
I try to say on the positive side, look, America's a melting pot for a reason. Nobody except for, you can say, the Native Americans have been here since the beginning. So everybody had to come from somewhere, and you know, the Haitian Americans, at least the culture that has made me helped make me to where I am today are the most recent group, and they've been able to prosper very well with little to no resources at the beginning, just like other groups, the Irish, the Italians. You can go back back to as far as you can go to the 1800s. That's what the American dream is. It gives you an opportunity. It's not going to give you a handout typically, but at the same time, it gives you an opportunity to work hard, and that's what instills in me, and to believe in the positive and to have that optimistic approach. And that keeps me from really focusing on the negativity that might be attached to me because of my cultural background. I still feel that I have, like, America's given me this opportunity to be a lawyer, to have a family, to be able to raise my family in a beautiful community like North Miami Beach. And when I hear those things, I just stay positive. It's all about being positive and staying focused. And the fact that, you know, God gave you an opportunity, you have to rise above it and do the best with what you have at the present time.
So let's talk about the challenges in North Miami Beach, because I would imagine a lot of the challenges you face in North Miami Beach, you've been serving on the county commission or the city commission prior to that, but a lot of the challenges you face, other cities are facing.
Of course.
What are some of the big issues that you're dealing with?
Kitchen table issues, you know, cost of living, environmental, dealing with our septic to sewer issues, flooding, economic development. All those issues are the reasons that I believe I was elected mayor, because I've had a history tackling those issues on the commission prior to, and I'm a voice for those people that want those issues to be tackled. And I've had programs and initiatives that have been very successful in alleviating some of those burdens. Now the people of North Miami Beach has put me on the leadership approach, or being the main cheerleader, as it were, as being mayor, to make sure those things are expanded and to do more with less, but more effectively.
Now, I did tell you that I was going to bring up one thing that was controversial in your tenure while you were on the city commission. You and several other commissioners boycotted meetings for an extended period of time in a protest to the mayor at the time, DeFilippo, because there were allegations, later proven I think to be true, that he did not live in the city, and so therefore was not elected properly to that city. How do you address those who criticized you and said, whether you agree or not, you should still have been there to represent the people?
At the end of the day, look, nobody's above the law. I know, like, nationally that's not being as succinct as it should be, or people might have a doubt on that, but North Miami Beach, I swore to hold our charter as well as the U.S. Constitution, and it was, you know, I made a personal decision. I had other colleagues that kind of had the same type of sentiment, to not be a participant to fraud. And I understand that people felt like business was not being taken care of, and like, I heard certain people saying projects. I'm not here for projects. I'm here for the residents, to make sure that I'm doing it legally and doing it in the most moral way that I can. And that's why I stood tall on it. Those same people would have said the same thing about people boycotting buses back in the 60s and 80s. Like, why are you messing with the bus system? Because at the end of the day, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And in this aspect, well, what I saw was wrong, and I didn't want to be a party to it.
What's the big issue? You know, when you look back after your term is done, what do you hope to achieve?
I hope to achieve and get as much resources to do in septic to sewer. I think that it's an economic driver. If tackled, can really take North Miami Beach to levels that...
Is that more of an issue that you have to deal with the county, with the state, with the federal government?
No.
Where is it?
All the way down. Look, on the commission, I've been able to use certain relationships to get additional funding to alleviate some of the burden that might come from our taxpayers, our residents. I've reached out to the federal level, to our great Congresswoman Federica Wilson, who I'm a proud member of 5,000 Role Models, and I have my button right here, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be watching, as well as reaching out to the Governor DeSantis. Environmental issues are big issues with him. We're a coastal city, and he's been able to, through his guidance and counsel, to provide some additional resources to upgrade our water plant and get its position to apply for these certain grants that go to support septic to sewer conversions in small communities like myself.
It's a major issue. I'm dealing with it. I live in Miami Shores. We're dealing with septic to sewer, for sure.
Yes. So those are the main issues. We're focusing on North Miami Beach. I know my colleagues have others, but to me, those are legacy issues that need to be tackled ASAP.
Mayor Joseph, I really appreciate your taking the time to come in. Good luck to you, and we'll keep in touch.
And I will say thank you, merci, gracias, and shalom. And thank you for allowing me to be here with you, Jim.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's a North Miami Beach response. We are very diverse.
You are a diverse community, that is for sure. All right, we'll be right back after the break.